Thanks. On Close Up this morning, reporting the war in Iraq. The media have come under a lot of fire for the way we show the violence in Iraq and report on it. Tuesday, President Bush said the insurgents in Iraq know that deadly attacks there will wind up on TV here, on the TV news at home. So is the U.S. media focusing too much on the negative and ignoring the positive stories in Iraq? NBC's Richard Engel has been covering the events in Iraq since before the war even began. Richard, good morning.
Good morning, David. There are a lot of myths and misperceptions about what reporters are doing and are not doing here in Iraq. So this morning we put together a report to try and show what they can do and some of the challenges that we face.
Okay. Every day in Baghdad, reporters suit up. Flak jackets are part of the uniform here. Just this week, a bomb killed Iraqi police in front of our bureau. We went to report from the scene, but before heading out, I practiced what we would be doing with our crew.
Or the roadside bomb was hidden in this drainage ditch, so maybe be low down high.
Yeah. So we would be faster and limit our exposure on the street.
The roadside bomb was hidden in this manhole. Iraqis see every day these kind of attacks and assassinations.
For the U.S. military's perspective on the war, we join Engel, becoming part of a unit for a day, a week, or more. Often it's quiet, until
there is still a lot of fire coming at us. Some of it's exploding.
But more is going on here than bullets and IEDs. Just this week, NBC News interviewed Iraqi officials, visited hospitals, playgrounds, and Iraqi homes. But reporting on everyday life is increasingly dangerous. That's because life here is getting more dangerous. When my colleague Don Teague tried to do a story about the reopening of a school, even daily tasks are a risk. NBC News acting bureau chief Carl Bostic was heading to pay bills when he almost drove into this.
I felt that this was it.
Another major threat is kidnapping. Nearly 40 reporters have been taken hostage so far. 3, including American Jill Carroll, are still being held. So foreign reporters often have to rely on the phones and our network of Iraqi reporters to go where we cannot. But even staying in our office can be dangerous.
We need a doctor.
And like several media organizations, the NBC News Bureau has been bombed twice.
Increasingly, the challenge is not to find stories, there are plenty of them here, but to find ways to report them and live to tell the tale. Dave?
Richard, follow-up question here based on something the President said in his press conference yesterday. Speaking of the insurgents, he said, quote, they're capable of blowing up innocent life so it ends up on your TV show. Speaking to reporters in the front row there at the press room yesterday. Based on your reporting and your experience, do you think insurgents in Iraq are sophisticated enough? Are they in tune to news coverage here?
Absolutely. They are certainly watching the news coverage. They have active propaganda divisions within the insurgent groups, and certain attacks are clearly designed to grab attention, to grab headlines, and to be put on in the headlines. However, most of the attacks here happen very far away from the cameras, particularly in this period of sectarian violence. Most of these assassinations happen at night and are not done for the media's benefit, but because there is a violent insurgency underway here, David.
Richard, bottom line, what's your gut check? Do we miss the overall story about what's going on in Iraq, or does security remain the overall story?
I think the security problem is the overall story, and most Iraqis I speak to say actually most reporters get it wrong. The situation on the ground is actually worse than the images we project on television, David.
Richard Engel in Baghdad this morning. Thanks very much.